Alright, I'm in Tour 5, and we're going to go in and just play some one-on-one. I'm going to play 30 minutes. I set a timer. Setting it right now, 30 minutes. So I'm going to play for 30 minutes, and we'll just go through some of these holes. I have no idea what holes we'll get. Hopefully our opponents will try and replay us. I'm going to try and play as many holes as I can with my big topper and my accurate bag. But we'll see how it goes. So I have one bag with an extra mile, one bag with a QB, one bag with a big topper. I think my fourth bag, I can't remember if it's a secondary. I think I have two accurate bags, one with a sniper, one with a guardian. And the big topper bag is all backspin clubs. Houdini, Machete. You can play that big topper on a lot of these holes. Let's see here. With this wind. Alright, 1.5. That's 1.5 rings. So I'm about a ring into power. You put curl on it to bring it back to the fairway. I'm going to have to put just a little bit of overpower on it. Not a lot, but a little. Woo! Almost too much curl. Of all the par 4s in this game, this one's got the best chance for hole-in-one. If you come here with really big stuff so you can hit over on the other side, you can really direct it right towards the hole. In tournament, I'm not sure if this has been in more than one tournament, but it was in one when it first came out, that tournament. We were hitting over to the other side with a 4-power ball. The wind was going with us, but to get over to the other side so that you could engage a little bit, you had a lot more control over it. So it was first bounce, second bounce is way up here, so you were really able to control the ball. But in one-on-one, if you hit over to this side right here, there's nothing wrong with this, but you're just relegating yourself to short iron shot, and you're taking the risk of rolling into the rough, which they'll still be able to get on from there, but if you're going to go for it, the only real risk you got on this side is the sand. .63. From this distance, the wind is going to play a factor. Right on the edge of the cup. Hitting it great to the left. If I was going to hit it great one side or the other, that was the side. If the wind was in play, I had more room on the left. It hit the flagpole, so a perfect might have gone in the hole, but a great to the right would not. So there was a little bit of slope action there, and there was a little bit of wind. I hedged my bet. Let's see if my opponent can get on from the other side. In this situation, you're better to put on all the backspin and get as close to the hole as you can. Because if you err great to the left or the right, or even good left to the right, you'll still end up on the green. Alright, what hole was that? That was Nordic Fords, hole 8, par 4. Let's see if they'll rematch us. So we get some bonus content. Come on, dude. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Alright. No rematch. Let's go back into I got two holes left on that pin. I think I'm going to get more than 2 in the next 25 minutes. Let's see what holes we get here. If you're playing Tour 5, these Portello Cove holes are pretty awesome. What hole is this? What I really want is that bag right there. What we really need, what you really need here is a Kingmaker, but a Katana will work. About a 6-2 pull, maybe somewhere in that neighborhood right there. I gotta hit it hard and fast. Hit it great on the inside. I was running out of time. I decided to I was up against the wind, and so I was trying to leave myself enough room to be able to get up there and make a wind adjustment. I should have recognized that right off the bat, but I was daydreaming. I will tell you that I've never seen this side over here. The way to hit this hole, that side over there, you're just, I don't know. If you brought a big dog and you had a big ball, it's not the first shot, it's the second shot that's really hard. You can hit this first shot with a Marlin, but the second shot is very difficult, especially if we have a headwind. See how my opponent does. And you got to get way up in the front in order to have a nice shot. Let's see how far I can get up there. I can get to right there. Alright. Backspin, side spin. More backspin. And with curl, that's the shot right there. This is one of the things about bringing a Guardian. You can use that backspin to work yourself around a corner a little bit. And hitting that great on the outside didn't do me any good. But you can see how the shot dynamics work there. I'm rolling down until I get to the red line where I can get on the fairway, where I can work the wind out. And then it's backspin, side spin, curl to bring it back over towards the hole. And so your odds, with a sniper, you lose a little bit of distance, one. So the red line's going to be farther back. And so when you're farther back, you don't need as much backspin. Because that club also has a lot more curl, so all that stuff comes into play. But normally when people hit over to the other side, they're out in the fairway and they have a really pretty good pitch. But if you go to the side that I went to, the right, you got a chance of just getting on if you brought the right club and the right ball. It takes a little bit bigger ball. Isn't it perfect? I moved it over because I thought maybe the wind was gonna, based on the wind that was there and that distance in the rough, and just misjudged it. It hit right where I aimed it. What I could have did was hedge my bet and went in between the pin and the edge of the cup. That way, if the wind didn't take effect, if I would have been in between the pin and the edge of the cup, I'd have been 2 miles per hour. If the wind didn't come into play, a perfect would go in and a great to the left would go in, but a great to the right would miss completely. If I adjusted for the wind, if I didn't adjust for the wind and aimed straight for the flagpole, and the wind doesn't come into play, a perfect will go in, but it's unlikely a great to the left or the right will. So sometimes you can set your shot up, especially on days if you know like everything I'm hitting is great to the right. You could hedge your bet on that and make it so that a perfect and a great to the right go in and a great to the left will miss completely, or vice versa. And no, we're going to a shootout. I let my opponent back in. I had the right spot. I was in a good area, and I picked up that great going in with the Guardian. Didn't give myself enough time to really get a feel for the needle. That's what happens. If we were all perfect, we wouldn't have to play anymore. Alright, I brought the right club for this. I like to come at this. I know a lot of people like to bounce on this side, a lot of people like to bounce on this side, but I like to go right here with my Guardian. And I'm going right back at it. Okay, 2, 3. It's 1.5. It's at minimum club, so I'm just going to do a ring and a half pull. I'll put some curl on it to get it to come back to the hole. Hitting it great on the inside, great to the right. And it'll follow that slope right back down towards the hole. That type of shot where you've got to hit that, every star has to be in a line in order to get a hole in one. But the deal is that on this hole you see a lot of people get messed up in the rough, either over on this side or when they're bouncing over they get caught up in the rough, and it can be a very tricky shot. And if you're that close all the time, you're going to win a lot of shootouts on this hole. I especially don't like setting up shots like my opponent's doing right there where they're that close to the edge. And any adjustment they just made on the ball, they better check it. When you're that close to the edge, if he hits that great to the left, he's in trouble. Now the wind's going in a good direction for him, but if he hits a great to the left, he would be in big trouble. And that'll roll nicely back down towards the hole. He's got a little more momentum, so he actually might get closer. He will. Nice shot. Nice shot. Let's see if he'll replay us or if he wants to hold my coins. Good game. Come on, dude. It's what, 20,000 coins? 10,000 coins? Did you just see a shooting star of... I did. You did. Alright. He does not want to give me back my 20,000 coins. Need one more.
Daisy's out here with you.
Okay. Alright, here we go. Hole... What are we getting to get? Nordic Fords, hole 1, par 4. I do not remember this. I can't remember. I think we were heading over to the other side, but I can't remember what it looks like. Yes, we're definitely heading over to the other side. With that wind, we're definitely going to have to bring out a big enough driver to get over to the other side. But we don't have to bring out a very big ball. And at least it's a downhill putt. Switch to a Marlin, and I'm going to switch to my number 1 bag. Pull out that old extra mile. And the wind's going to get me over nicely. I don't need all the top spin. need everything else. And I hit it way good to the inside. That marlin's going about 1 billion miles an hour. Let's see if I can just hold it. There we go. Now we've got a recovery shot. See if my opponent can make their long putt. Maybe. Open the door. He had me. He left the door open. Now I can just outright win though. Let's see, where am I at in my club? There's Max club. There's Max. Means that's mid. So we're close to mid. It's about 4.4 per ring. 4.0 per ring, somewhere in that neighborhood. So it's going to be about 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do about 1.5 rings, a little over. Hit great to the right. I was running out of time. See if I got my distance right. Yeah, pretty close. The deal there is if you have some method for working at that wind when you're taking that shot that's in there, when you hit those perfects, you got a shot of it going in. But if you hit it great to the left or the right, you're always close. And you don't have to take long putts very often. I don't like long putts. I'm not a fan. For those of you that have watched my videos before, and for those of you that haven't, there's 2 rules here. There's 2 ways that you can play it. You can either get good at taking long putts, or you can get good at hitting the ball closer. And I'm a big fan of hitting the ball closer. It's almost like the Happy Gilmore, you know. It's a lot easier to take a 1-yard putt or a 2-yard putt than it is a 20-yard putt. That's much easier. Alright, these are backspin shootouts. If you watch my videos and tournaments, like, I'm not messing around with any islands on this hole. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to bring a Guardian. I'm going to bring whatever it takes to backspin, sidespin, curl it onto this hole. And when you throw the word curl in, your chances of getting in the hole are grim, but you're going to be close, and you're going to be on the green. There's no chance that you're going to get a par on a par 3. It'll ruin your tournament. In the last tournament, I got a par on a par 3. It ruined it. It just killed it. I mean, there's no recovery from that. 365. Let's see if we can beat that. Yeah, I want to be over here where most of my red line. Max. Get out here my blue. Two, 1. Hit great on the inside, about 75 rings. Rolling it back to the hole. If you can use the course to your advantage, it'll roll it back down there and you'll get close. Every time. Your chances of getting in are grim, but you'll be close almost every time. Let's see if they'll replay. Come on, let's get some. They couldn't quit fast enough. It's like 20,000 points. Come on, man. Let's open up my pin chest. Trying to get rocks, and I got some rocks earlier today. I opened up a platinum chest and there was 14 of them in it. I'm like 54 away from the promised land. go. See which way my opponent's going to play it. We need to play over here, I'm sure. If you go this way out here, there's not really any chance of getting on in one with a white ball. Or excuse me, two with a white ball. There isn't really any chance with any kind of ball. So I'm going to use a marlin since my opponent used a white ball. But we're going to go the route where we can try and get on in two. Switch to the accurate bag. Let's check our wind out. Two one. It's a 2-1 pull. Some curl. Hitting it perfect. Should roll out there nicely. That is a difficult shot to get over with a marlin. You want to bring up, if you're playing this in a tournament, you want to bring a big ball. You want to bring a 3-power ball so that you can start off. You won't have to use this island to get over. You can start off on the other side. With a 1 or 2-power ball, you're definitely, or a 0-power ball, you're definitely going to have to use the island. Other than a lower level big topper being inaccurate, this isn't a bad hole for a big topper because on that island out there, the farther you can get out, the better. You can see how much room I left. If you get all the way to the end out there, you can easily get over. So with the wind that we have, I can't get over with my sniper. I definitely want to be off. Just a bit. 4-7. I'm going to do a 5-ring pull. And it great to the right, great to the outside. And I'm better off on the fringe fairway right there than I am on the green. Normally that shot gets me about halfway to the cup or maybe a third of the way to the cup, and that's a long, difficult putt. So I would much rather take my shot coming in than my opponent's. I got 6 minutes and 45 seconds, so if I can outright beat him right here, we might be able to get in one more hole. I don't think from this distance that I may have to backspin it in, because this, depending on the movement on the green, but if I can top spin it in, I don't think wind's going to play a factor. I'm going to be able to get it pretty close to where I'm at. But if I have to backspin it in, wind might be a factor. See kind of movement it's got. I'm going to hedge my bet. I'm going to hedge my bet so that a great to the right and a perfect will go in, but a great to the left is out of the picture if the wind plays in. If the wind doesn't play in, I'm going to miss that great to the right. The wind just barely played in. So a great to the right went on one side, a perfect would have went on the other side, and a great to the left would not have gone in. Alright, good game. See if they'll play us one more time. Come on. Haven't had a single person rematch me yet. It's really important. We should be rematching people. The game's got, especially at the upper levels, everybody's so consumed with coins that we're missing out on a whole bunch of stuff in the community of just being able to play each other. Let's open up a chest. We're working on clubs. Got 2 level 5 clubs I'm trying to work on. Looking for my rock and looking for my hornet. I got both of them close. So we're trying to cycle through 4 gold chests a day. That way, between now and tomorrow night, I can open up those 4 gold chests. Get the ball rolling. Port Hello Cove. Hole 7, par 4. Alright, excellent. This is a great way to end the video. So we just had this in the Coastal Classic tournament. And I was hitting with my lower level clubs, I was just hitting over here. With my upper level stuff, I was hitting with my QB and ending up here in my rapier range. But I'm trying the max overpower hook shot on here, and I did it. I'll have to post that video. I came out here the first time I got the hole, and I tried the max overpower hook shot. I saw a guy do it, and I went out there and watched what they were doing and tried to emulate it, and was able to get it to happen the first time. So let's see if we can do it again. And that's about as far up in that hole as you can get. Close. So I'm going to use my accurate bag with a katana. I don't need to do all of it. Let's get down on it. There's 5. Here's 6, 8. Let's see if we can catch that. I moved it in a little bit, and I just cleared that before, and I moved it in 1 ring. So the first time I went out there, I was on the transition between the fairway and the rough with my white ring completely off the fairway. I was right at the transition with the edge of my line. I took out the wind. And I didn't have on max topspin. And the deal is I just barely cleared this up here, and I rolled and I stopped right in this area. And so I just barely missed this. So I was trying to see if I could give myself more room so I could land more in the middle and roll towards the green instead of coming up high. And by moving it in, it changes that trajectory down there. But on this side, moving it in 1 ring made it so I didn't land in the fairway. I caught the rough. So there's a fine line there. So it has to be white ring completely out, and then you're going to have to adjust with topspin to get it to go more towards the hole. So it'll be less topspin, so probably like 3. Still got this shot in our bag though. Okay, there's max club. There's max, there's mid, so we're right about mid, so put my backspin on. Don't laugh, that backspin's a lot on a Spitfire. A lot. 4.9, it's about 4 per ring, so it's about 1.25 rings. And I hit it like 75 rings good. So now it's just about looking at distance to see if I had the distance right. If it would have been pin high, if you take the arc, it would have been just a little past it, but the distance wasn't bad. The Spitfire hits so high in the air that when it comes down and it hits the ground, most of its momentum is going straight down, not forward. So it hits a mile. I mean, it's basically a long iron, but it hits way up in the air. And so that little teeny bit of backspin, while it doesn't look like it's much, because of how high the trajectory is when it hits the ground, that little teeny bit is a massive amount of backspin. So on most clubs, it's probably 3 or 4. It's probably like 3 or 4 backspin. You take a Hornet for example. It's take an upper level Hornet that's got about 4 backspin, and that club's about the same. Alright, our timer's up, so when we get done with this shootout, that will be the end of the video. I'll try and shoot these videos. I play every night right before I go to bed. I'm going to try and start posting some videos. If you guys want me to post in any certain tour or something, just post a comment on there that you want me to play. I'll play up to tour 7 with this account. On the non-tournament weeks, I'll play a couple nights and just post some videos for you guys if you're playing certain tours and you need some help on some of those holes or just want to see some of them played. See how my opponent does using the island. That is, if you were in the tournament, that right there is a great shot. I get as much of everything as I possibly can on it. It's 4-8. There's 5, 6, 7. It's about 7. Do a big wind adjustment because it's downhill. Way downhill. That was too much of a wind, not enough of a wind adjustment. During the tournament, I was playing this with a Guardian, and I was doing 110% wind adjustment, and that particular shot, it worked. But I tried that same shot, I tried that same wind adjustment shooting back further like that, and the 110 did not work, so I have no idea. That hole right there may be one of the few holes that I dislike in this game. But I will learn how to play that. Every time I get an opportunity, I'm gonna keep working that hole. Alright, that was some Tour 5 play. Hopefully you guys pick something up on some of those holes. Thanks for watching.